Last but not least, the L'Anse Creuse North Crusaders. They finished 4-5 overall last year, but 1-4 in their first year in the red. Optimism is high for this club as they hope to prove themselves yet again in the league.
Go. You know, we're really excited. We didn't know what we had with this group. This is our fourth year here. This will be our fourth season coming up, and our team has really come together, hit the weight room really hard, and they're really excited to play. We have a really good senior class, good senior leadership, and we're really excited about this season, about how electric we're going to be.
Go. Right there.
This is your second year in the red. Obviously got your feet wet last year. You know, what are your thoughts on playing in that division and the season upcoming?
Well, it's always fun. You always want to play at the highest level when you're a coach, when you're an athlete. And the MAC Red football is probably by far the best football in this state. You know, and that's what I've always said. You want to be up there. You want to play the Dakotas. You want to play the Stevensons, the Chips, the Ikes, and the Motts. That's who you want to compare yourself against. And you know, we done a good job last year. You know, we beat Ike. We played some tough games. This year, we're just ready to take that next step.
I feel like we have something special going here. I feel like we're going to be a very good contender in the MAC Red. I feel like we're going to be going against obviously very good teams in the MAC Red. I feel like being an underdog gets us when you do go out there and really compete. That'll surprise a lot of people.
We belong in the red. We feel like so. I mean, we're not intimidated by people. You know, we're just going out to play. You know, we want to play in the highest competition we can.
Go. Off that tackle, Joey, right there. Get inside.
We're definitely fast on offense, fast on defense. Obviously, our offense is always our highlight. You know, everyone likes to see us throw the ball around. You know, we got good quarterbacks. We got three we really like. And, you know, going from there, our offensive line is finally big. You know, they finally hit the weight room, so we'll be able to play with those Dakotas and the Chips. They're ginormous people.
We're deep in every position. Every position we have at least three guys that can play it. We're athletic, and beyond that, we all work hard and study what we need to study. We're all watching film. We're all going over our assignments before, in school, whenever we can. It's just our program is getting up there.
You know, Jake Mychak played a big role last year with 10 touchdowns, and he's going to be another guy that's going to come out there and really play. We got a left tackle and a junior, Don Petrowski. He's a beast, and he played really good last year. Our center, Zach Lanzon, going to give us a little bit on the defensive end this year. And our defensive line is going to be really fast and really strong this year with Michael Biondo and Toby Grauberg.
We all work hard. We never quit. We're gonna give every good team a run for their money.
You know, you have to prepare. We have all great coaches. All the red coaches are great coaches, and they're going to prepare too. And you just got to take each week as a thing. They're so different though. You got us and Mott, who are kind of the athletic, kind of fun. You know, throw it around, do some crazy stuff. Then you got the Ike and Dakota, who's the big juggernauts, and they just want to pound you. Stevenson's running the ball now, and then you got Chippewa, who has great athletes and some big senior class guys. So you really got to compare every week, and every week's different. You know, it's and it's such great matchups because, you know, it's just every week it's such a different matchup for all of us, not just for us, just everyone. It's such a unique difference. I think we're a sleeper. You know, that's the great thing about us. No one really, they all pick us last, and we're cool with it. You know, but you know, we're going to sneak up on some teams, and we play teams tough, and you know, you better prepare. If you take us lightly, we'll come up and sneak up and bite you. So we're really excited. I think some special things are happening.
Well, Brad, L'Anse Creuse North, you know, they have a good sense of humor about it. They know that a lot of people are not going to pick them coming into the year. They are the underdog, and that's the mindset they're going to have to play with, a little bit of chip on their shoulder.
Yeah, you always got to be aware of those teams that do have that chip on their shoulder because they're hungry and they're looking to prove a point.
Last year, they upset Eisenhower in a game. You heard that. You know, and it's not unlikely that they could do that to any one of the other MAC Red teams.
Well, we talked about Mott and that win over Dakota as kind of a confidence builder and a program victory, and I think that was the case for L'Anse Creuse North. Anytime you can beat one of those big boys in the MAC Red, this case being Eisenhower, it sets a standard for your program. And that was a game that Eisenhower had a 16-0 lead. L'Anse Creuse North comes right back, scores 17 straight points, and comes away with that 1-point victory. A program builder, but they need to make those strides a little bit bigger this season and really build off of that win.
Yeah, and you heard Coach Kinner say that they look to build on things and to keep moving forward. Let's look at their schedule. They start off at home against Troy Athens on the 27th, and then on the road at Warren Mott in that second game, and then 2 home games, Eisenhower and Roseville, on the road against Stevenson on the 25th. Next portion of their schedule there is Anchor Bay on the road October 2nd, followed by a big one at home against Dakota. We'll see that game right here on MTGA. And they go on the road at Chippewa Valley, and then home to close out against a district rival, but not a MAC Red rival in L'Anse Creuse. So when you look at their schedule, Brad, I mean, what are some of the things that really stand out as far as these teams?
Well, the very tail end of the schedule, obviously, the games against Dakota, Chippewa Valley, and L'Anse Creuse. You know, that rivalry with L'Anse Creuse, it's an important one for both schools. L'Anse Creuse North having won 3 straight now in that rivalry series. They hold the 25-15 edge now on their rival school, but talk about a tough way to end the season, huh? Dakota, Chippewa Valley, there's going to be, you know, once again, L'Anse Creuse North going to have to play their way into the playoffs, and more importantly, they're probably going to have to go 4-0 in non-league play.
Yeah, we talked about that earlier when some of the teams look at their non-conference schedule. You know, in these crossovers, you got to do well in those because you know that you're going to suffer a loss or 2 or more in the MAC Red play. You know, Troy Athens to start things off again. You know, we don't know much about Troy Athens, but that's going to be a tough game. There are other crossover games, Roseville. That's going to be a tough game. However, that one is at home. Anchor Bay is a rivalry. You know, we know that Anchor Bay has issues with L'Anse Creuse North, and they don't like each other. And you know those players can't wait to play each other year in and year out. And then L'Anse Creuse, another rivalry game for them. So those are going to be big games, and then you got to try to steal a couple in the MAC Red. And you know, from top to bottom, when we look at the talent level of every other team, not a knock on L'Anse Creuse North. Every other team is right up there as well. So you basically flip a coin, and if you can't get 2 wins in MAC Red play, you could be in trouble.
Yeah, and L'Anse Creuse North, we always talk about how up-tempo, high-powered their offense is, but they really got to shore up their defense. They gave up 341 points last season as a defensive unit, which was the 4th most in all of Macomb. So defensively, L'Anse Creuse North's got to step their game up. Maybe see a little bit of improved defensive line play. I think the line for L'Anse Creuse North a little bit bigger, a little bit faster this season, and they could be a team that squeaks into the playoffs.
Yeah, could be. But, you know, one thing that L'Anse Creuse North does have to take a look at is, you know, when the MAC realigns next year, they definitely don't want to be on the outside looking in. If they want to stay in the MAC Red, they're going to have to show that they're competitive, and they're going to have to show that they deserve to be in the MAC Red.